Sarah had been a nanny for 8 years. At 54, she earned $18 an hour, cared for 3 children whose parents rarely asked her name, and lived in a studio apartment that smelled like someone else's cooking. But she loved the work. Children were honest in ways adults had forgotten how to be. On a Tuesday afternoon in early spring, she sat on a bench near the playground, watching the children play. A little girl, maybe 5 years old, sat alone on the swings. She wasn't playing. She was crying. Sarah's maternal instinct activated immediately. She approached slowly, carefully. "Hello, sweetheart," Sarah said gently. "Are you okay?" The girl looked up, her face streaked with tears, her bottom lip trembling. I can't reach the top of the slide. And nobody will help me. Mommy says I have to try myself, but I'm scared." Sarah knelt down. "What's your name?" "Emma." "Emma is such a beautiful name." "I'm Sarah." She took the child's small hand. "Can I sit with you for a moment?" Emma nodded, still sniffling. The language of comfort. Sarah didn't rush. She didn't try to fix it immediately. Instead, she sat beside Emma on the swing, moving gently back and forth. "You know," Sarah said softly, "when I was your age, I was scared of the big slide, too. I remember standing right where you are looking up at it and feeling like it was so high." "Did you go down it?" Emma asked, wiping her eyes with the back of her hand. "Eventually, but not right away, and that was okay." Sarah smiled. "Do you know what helped me? My grandmother sat with me. She didn't force me. She just reminded me that being scared is brave, because brave isn't not being scared. Brave is doing something scary anyway." Emma considered this, her breathing slowing. "I'll tell you a secret," Sarah continued, leaning close. "Sometimes the hardest part is asking for help. Not because we're weak, but because asking takes courage too. Will you help me?" Emma's voice was small. "I would be honored," Sarah said. Hand in hand, they walked to the slide. Sarah stood beside Emma as she climbed. When Emma hesitated at the top, Sarah was there, offering steady presence, not pressure. Emma went down. She shrieked, half fear, half joy. At the bottom, she looked up at Sarah with the biggest smile. "I did it." "You did," Sarah said warmly. "And you were so brave." The watching father. What Sarah didn't know was that a man had been watching from across the playground. Michael Sterling, 58, was CEO of Sterling Technologies, a global enterprise worth $4 billion. He'd taken a rare afternoon off to spend time with his daughter, something he did too infrequently and felt guilty about constantly. He'd watched Emma's meltdown with the familiar helplessness of a parent who'd missed so many moments like this. His ex-wife always said he didn't know how to really be present. He'd assumed Emma would work through it, as per the parenting philosophy he read about in books while traveling for business. But then he watched this woman, not young, not dressed expensively, but radiating something his penthouse and private jet could never buy, kneel down and truly see his daughter. He watched Sarah sit without judgment, listen without agenda, comfort without demanding gratitude. When Emma came down the slide, Michael saw his daughter's face light up in a way he hadn't seen in months. The conversation. After Emma had played for another 20 minutes, Michael approached the bench where Sarah sat, reading a worn paperback novel. "Excuse me," he said. "I'm Michael. That's my daughter, Emma." Sarah looked up, smiling. "Oh, she's wonderful. Such a bright spirit." "She was terrified of that slide," Michael said carefully. 5 minutes ago she was crying. I was going to let her sit with it, but you handled that beautifully." Sarah shrugged, a bit embarrassed. Children need patience more than anything. They need someone to believe in them when they don't believe in themselves yet. Michael sat down uninvited. "Can I ask you something? Are you a child psychologist?" "No," Sarah laughed. "I'm a nanny. Been one for 8 years." Something shifted in Michael's chest. "You're very good at it." "Thank you," Sarah said, "though I'm not sure how much it matters, honestly. I work for 3 different families. None of them ask about my day or my dreams. I'm the help." The way she said it, without bitterness, just matter-of-fact sadness, made Michael feel ashamed. "I'm sorry," he said quietly, "that you're not valued." Sarah looked at him directly. "I value myself. That has to be enough sometimes." The unlikely friendship. Michael did something he hadn't done in years.
He sat and talked.
Really talked. He told Sarah about the pressure of his company, the loneliness of success, the guilt of missing Emma's childhood while building an empire, the awareness that he had everything and nothing simultaneously. Sarah listened the same way she'd listened to Emma, without advice, without trying to fix it, just present. "You know what my grandmother told me?" Sarah said. "She said that when we choose to show up for people, really show up, that's the only success that matters. Everything else is just noise." "I haven't shown up for Emma," Michael said, watching his daughter on the monkey bars. "Not really?" "Then start now," Sarah said simply. "It's never too late to be the parent she needs." What happened next? Michael did something unprecedented. He hired Sarah privately as Emma's full-time nanny, but with a twist. He doubled her salary to $36 an hour. He gave her health insurance, retirement benefits, and a week-long vacation every quarter. He enrolled her in the college classes she'd always wanted to take, using her nanny schedule to allow time for school. But more importantly, he changed. He started working 4 days a week instead of 6. He picked Emma up from school some afternoons. He had dinner at home most nights. And he took Sarah's advice seriously, asking Emma about her day, her fears, her dreams. Really asking, really listening. 1 year later, Sarah sat in Michael's living room, a sprawling penthouse with floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the city. She felt oddly comfortable here, though this world wasn't hers. Emma was in school now. She was thriving. And Michael had become someone Sarah recognized as a different man. "I want to thank you," Michael said, handing her an envelope. "I've been thinking about how to express this." Inside was a deed to a small house in a nice neighborhood. Paid in full. "Michael, I can't," Sarah started. "You can," he said gently. "You gave me my daughter back. You reminded me what matters. You showed me kindness when you had no idea who I was or what I could offer you. That's rare, Sarah, that's sacred." Sarah's eyes filled with tears. I saw a scared child." "I know," Michael said. "And that's exactly why. You didn't see her father's money or status. You just saw Emma, and you loved her anyway. The real wealth." 2 years later, Sarah had completed her associate's degree and was working toward her bachelor's in early childhood education. She still nannied for Michael and Emma, but now it felt like family. Emma called her Aunt Sarah. Michael had stepped back from day-to-day operations at his company, keeping just a consulting role. He was writing a book about the emptiness of unchecked ambition and the richness of genuine connection. One evening, sitting on Michael's balcony with a cup of tea, Sarah looked out at the city lights. "You know what I realized?" she said. "Money didn't change me, but generosity changed you." Michael smiled. "No, kindness changed me." "Your kindness? You treated my daughter like she mattered when you didn't know I could give you anything. That broke open something in me." Sarah turned to him. "Everyone matters. That's what I believe. Whether they're rich or poor, whether they can help us or not. Everyone deserves to be truly seen." "You saw me," Michael said quietly. "Not the CEO, not the wealth, just the man who was failing his daughter." "I saw someone trying," Sarah corrected. "And that's all any of us are doing." The end. Friends, sometimes our greatest gifts come when we're not trying to impress anyone, when we simply show up with an open heart and gentle hands. Remember, the most valuable currency in this world is presence, and the most wealthy among us are those who know its true worth.